pictures, most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but that one was, there were train tracks. A couple of these pictures are just the aftermath, and there is still flooding, but the waters have gone down a considerable amount, except for in the town of High River. 95% of that town is just such a mess. It's become very unsafe to live there. That town has 13,000 people that live in it, and I don't know when they're going to be able to go back to that town. Apparently it's going to take up to 7 years to fix all of the damage in that town alone, and to rebuild everything, and the vast majority of the town, of the buildings, are just complete write-offs. And that's where I've been the vast majority of this time, is helping in High River. And I know what you guys are thinking, that a town called High River, you'd think that it would flood. And yeah, it does, but it's never done anything like this in Alberta. This isn't one of those things where it only happens once every 100 years. This has never happened, ever. It's the worst that it's ever been. Certainly in Albertan history, but I would be willing to bet in Canadian history as well. In Calgary alone, there were 100,000 residents that had to be evacuated. In the city of Medicine Hat, there were 10,000. In High River, there were 13,000, and so on. It's the biggest evacuation in Canada, in Canadian history. These pictures are at different times. Some of them were at the beginning of the flood, some of them were in the middle, and some of them are the aftermath. It's been a crazy few days, and I've taken 2 weeks off of work to continue helping. Like I said, my fire department has been in High River for the vast majority of the time, but I also, myself and a few other guys organized, well, 3 other guys from another fire department near us, as well as myself and one other member from my department. We went to the city of Medicine Hat to help out there for a day, and we helped with sandbagging and whatnot. But then we got requested to help in one of the First Nations reserves, which has been hit quite badly. Many homes have been completely swept away, carried away by the floods, and so we went down there and started helping to get people out and rescuing people. It's kind of a weird feeling to be in a boat going down a residential street. It's kind of an uncomfortable feeling. Luckily, this flood has only killed 4 people. And there was a man that was on his ATV. He was going to check out the neighbor's place to get them out because of the flooding. He was going to go try and rescue them, and he rolled his ATV and was killed. So if you count him, that was 5. It's one death is too many, but we're lucky that more were not killed, considering this was completely unexpected. We had 6 months of rain in 2 days, and the prairies are usually a very dry place. Usually we have to worry about grass fires, not floods. And in the town of High River, it does flood. It can flood. It has flooded in the past. The last one was in 2005. A few houses got flooded. That was it. But nothing like this. And the military and the RCMP have completely blocked anybody from going into the town now. So, I mean, I don't know when I'll get back there one day and I'll show you guys around. Probably just in my normal voice. And explain what happened there, I guess. I mean, there are lakes. Most of the waters have begun to recede. But in High River, it's still almost completely flooded. And there are lakes where there should not be lakes. Large lakes. And the river direction has carved a new path. It's changed direction in certain areas. And even my county has been affected. The Bow River is on the border of my county. And it's a complete mess down there. We evacuated people, luckily, before it hit. And there's a video, maybe I'll try and link it in the description, of a house hitting a bridge. And that video was taken just on the county border, on my county border. But there are cars laying all over the place in my county. Cars from all over the place, and there's debris everywhere. You find all sorts of things. Children's toys, propane tanks, cars, roofs, trailers. And the water is still high, and it's still very brown and mucky. It's gonna take a while for the water to calm down. The other night, when we got back from helping in High River, which for now we have finished there. We've just been helping out in my county. But we took the peace officer truck, myself and another member. He's had some police training, and since I went through criminal justice, the county told us to take the peace officer truck because the RCMP have all been busy. And there isn't a peace officer in town at the moment. They told us to take the truck down into the river bottom, where all the houses had been just drive around and make sure nobody was going to loot. And luckily, nobody has looted. I haven't heard any stories of looters. Oh, by the way, this picture, I really like this picture. Oh, it's gone now. But I just like how they just picked her up and just it seems so uncomfortable. But I guess she was fine with it, so it just cracked me up for some reason. Yeah, so we were out there for 12 hours over the night, and really we are not peace officers, and we should not have taken that truck, but under these circumstances we kind of had to. One thing has been, I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures yet, but the Prime Minister of Canada and the Albertan Premier have been visiting. And so there's a picture of the Prime Minister in the helicopter looking at the floods. And then there's a picture of the Premier that, right there, that's the Premier. I saw the Premier, but I never did see the Prime Minister. I was close to him, but I just couldn't see him. These floods, if I've taken anything from them, I've been losing a little bit of faith in humanity. But there have been people from all over the country coming to help and volunteering and giving everything that they have. And an example is my grandparents. I'll just wait. This video, we were out checking up on residents, and so we stopped at this washed out bridge, and I decided that I would take a video of it for you. And there's also a video of the one of the smaller dams that was opened up, and so I just took a video of that. And it's difficult to tell how high the water came, but it was all the way up. If you saw the trucks, the fire trucks there, it was all the way up past there. And you can see how fast it's dropped. It's really difficult. I'm going to go around and show you guys how high the water came in certain areas, because it's difficult to see it on the video. And also I kept on thinking that I pressed the off button, but I didn't, so now you just get to look at my pants, I guess. So all in that river bottom, was water. It was all flooded in there just a couple of days ago. And crazy. My grandparents said no, they're not gonna make them do that. But the fact that they offered is, I mean, things like that have been happening all over the place, and it's restored my faith in humanity. This picture is also off the internet. It's actually off of the Calgary Police Facebook page. They were thanking the people that were doing this, and it's all anonymous. Nobody knows who's been doing it, but people have been going around to the emergency vehicles and have been putting different things on there. They've been putting on gift cards, and this one's for Tim Hortons, which is a very popular coffee and donut shop here. And they weren't just putting it on there because it was a cop vehicle. They put it on one of our fire trucks as well, in High River. They have been putting it on there since the floods have started. And I just, like, things like that. It means so much when we get things like that. This one's like here. So I just decided that I would put that in the video on the off chance that somebody who's been doing this is maybe listening. Because I know that some people from Southern Alberta do listen to me. Those types of things are what restores my faith in humanity. It's the people that have come out. I mean, they put out a call for 30 people, 30 volunteers, and there were 2,000 that showed up in Calgary. And that's been the case all over the place in Alberta, and it's, I guess I just wanted to say thank you to anybody who may be listening who's gone in and done something. Those who donated food or donated their time. I'm definitely going to be talking about this more in the future, but I think you guys are probably getting sick of me, so I'm just gonna go. But I'm gonna try and show you more of the damage, because these pictures and videos don't really do it justice. It's gonna take forever to clean up. It's a pretty big mess. So, just one second. One other kind of tragic thing is there have been a lot of animals that have been killed as well. In some of the low-lying areas where the flood moved even faster, the farmers barely had time to get out themselves, let alone let their animals loose. And one farmer in my county, near the river bottom, has 15 horses. And with how fast the flood was moving, he almost got trapped because he decided to open up the gates to give his horses a chance. So he opened them up, tried to herd them out, but had to leave because the floodwater was getting higher. Somehow the floodwater closed the gate back up again, and the horses were caught from the debris. It's hard to explain, but all 15 drowned. And there were also 100 sheep that were killed in an auction house. They got trapped in there and drowned. And before they left. Another thing is my town has taken in 1,000 people at our evacuation center. And so we've been helping with that, with medicals, and it's been just non-stop, and will be for the next few weeks. But I'm gonna go. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. Probably will be making more videos, definitely will, in the future. And I will talk to you guys all later. And I apologize if there's any popping sounds. I'm pretty close to the mic, so stay safe, guys.